We are in the 240 for tonight's area code with this question. What did you do on your summer vacation during COVID-19? Well, one Bethesda teen hiked more than 200 miles, all to raise awareness for racial injustices and environmental racism. She told our WUSA 9 photojournalist Dave Scarnato that while she loves hiking, there's a bigger message to take away from her journey.
If I'm going out and hiking, it seems unfair of me to take that for granted. Instead, I need to find a way to support my community. I'm Lily and I'll be a junior at Holton Arms School. I hiked 272 miles of Vermont's Long Trail, which is a hiking trail that runs from the southern border of Vermont with Massachusetts to the northern border with Canada. It took me 23 days and it was hiking and cooking and doing all the things you would do in your daily life but in the woods. This has always been a goal of mine and I love backpacking, I love being outside, I love meeting new people, and this just sounded like a way to combine all the things I love into one spot. There was also a lot of planning that was involved in it, and that was much harder than I had expected. Having my food resupplied, getting people to meet me at certain parts, I had to readjust very often to having new people hike with me, which is hard if they're not necessarily my pace. There is a lot of rain in Vermont. The rain turns into mud and then it takes longer to hike because your shoes are all wet.
I would say my first reaction was both pride but also fear as a mom. It is extremely grueling and challenging, and I wanted her to be safe, especially with the pandemic going on.
Overall, it was very easy. You would just put your mask on or just turn around and step off the trail for people to pass. So luckily, it wasn't too big of an issue.
I was just mostly proud that she wanted to set a very hard goal and tie it to something that would help make the world a better place.
I was really motivated to have this also be a cause and not just a personal journey. And the past few months we've seen a lot of systemic racism, and I wanted to see what other parts of our life that it contributes to, not just with police brutality, but also environmental racism. And so the Sierra Club fights against that, and it brings people in communities that don't have access to like clean air and clean water, and also they combat climate change, which is really important to me. So there were times where I was like, I hope I can finish, but luckily I had the end goal in mind, and I just knew that it might not go exactly as planned, but it'll just be an adventure, and the journey's more important than the destination.
Yeah, that's life right there. Lily says she hopes to keep studying the environment and conservation even after high school. Her hike has raised nearly $8,000 for the Sierra Club.